Hello everyone, this is the 7th online history tutorial video for class 10. We are going to start the chapter Nationalism in Indo-China. So let's begin. Now, Indo-China comprises of the modern countries of Vietnam, Laos and Cambodia. So Vietnam gained formal independence in 1945, that is before India, 2 years before India gained independence. But it took around 30 more years before the Republic of Vietnam was formed. This chapter on Indochina will introduce you to one of the important states of the peninsula, namely Vietnam. Now, nationalism in Vietnam developed in a colonial context. The knitting together of a modern Vietnamese nation that brought the different communities together was in part the result of colonization, but as importantly, it was shaped by struggle against colonial domination. Now, this area called Indochina, its early history shows many different groups of people living in this area under the shadow of the powerful Chinese Empire. Even when an independent country was established in what is now northern and central Vietnam, its rulers continued to maintain the Chinese system of government as well as the Chinese culture. So they were heavily influenced by China. Vietnam was also linked to what has been called the maritime Silk Route, that is the Silk Route via sea routes, the ships' sea routes that brought in goods, people, and idea. So ships were very instrumental in transporting goods, people, and ideas. Other networks of trade connected it to the hinterlands where non-Vietnamese people lived. Now, the colonization of the Vietnamese people by the French brought these people of this country into conflict with the colonizers in all areas of their lives. The most visible form of French control was the military and economic domination. But the French also built a system that tried to reshape the culture of the Vietnamese. So, like how India was colonized by Britain, Vietnam was colonized by France. So, not only the French controlled the military and economic aspects of Vietnam, but also its cultural aspects. Nationalism in Vietnam emerged through the efforts of different sections of the society to fight against the French and all that the French represented in Vietnam. Now, the first French troops landed in Vietnam in 1858, and by the mid 1880s, they had established a firm grip over the northern part of the country. After the war between France and China, the French assumed control of Tonkin and Annam, two cities. So the French assumed control of Tonkin and Annam, and in 1887, French Indochina was formed. In the following decades, in the following years, the French sought to consolidate their position, and people in Vietnam began realizing that what was actually the nature of the loss that Vietnamese people, and Vietnamese culture was suffering at the hands of the French. From that reflection, from that realization, nationalism in Vietnam was born. This was just the introduction today. We will continue with this chapter tomorrow in the next video. Till then, bye.